plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again.
Happy to bring on my guest tonight, Mr. Larry from Greybeard Fit. Larry and I go way back. We've been friends on the internet for quite a long time, and we'll probably get into that a little bit tonight because we actually met online through fitness. And Larry, in the last little while, has been cranking out these really funny, good humored workout videos that I quite enjoy. So it's nice to see someone bring a sense of humor to working out and just honest, raw workouts in his garage. So let's welcome Larry from Greybeard Fit. Hey, Larry, welcome to the channel and the show.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Good, man. It's really, you know what? It's really great being online with someone streaming. First of all, my first show on this channel. But more
Congratulations.
importantly, someone who's been my friend online for 14 years, if I
Yeah,
had to guess.
yeah. I was just thinking about that the other day, honestly, and I was like tracking it, and I'm like, yeah, I think my youngest daughter was about 1, and she's 15 now. When we first started talking, she was about a year old. So,
When we first became friends on Facebook, I actually had a different Facebook account back then, and we reconnected when I
yeah,
started. But having a wall, remember a wall? People had a Facebook wall. It
yeah.
was
Oh my
it
God,
was optional.
yeah.
I actually didn't have one. All my friends were teasing me, "Don't you have a wall? Like, where do you post, bro?"
Like I don't. Yeah, I remember those days. It was a
So
while ago. Excuse me.
I want to start the show though. Um, we're going to get into it, but I want to start the show with a tribute to the man who brought us together, Ross
Oh,
Enamite.
Ross Enamite, yeah. Dude's awesome.
His forums were the best fitness resource on the net. Period.
For sure. Period. Yeah. I was bummed when I couldn't find him anymore.
I'm gonna put his website on screen for everyone
All right, cool.
because I mean, unfortunately, the forums aren't there anymore. But the forums were the f- way more useful than any Facebook group ever since.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Right? Like there was so many hard training bastards there, and like here's Ross. This is his. He coaches the world champion of women's boxing. He's still her coach.
Three
So he's moved
titles.
on to that. Yeah. So he doesn't have time for policing the forums anymore. But
Right.
so I mean, let's. I'm gonna shout out to a few people. Mark, Michael Rideout. You got anyone you want to shout out to in case you're watching? Like some great
I,
friendships.
you're one of the last people I'm still talking to from there. Honestly,
Yeah.
what's his name? There's another guy from Canada, and I cannot remember his name right now, but he was a really cool dude, former Canadian
Hardcore.
military.
Oh,
Um, I think his name was Mike also, but I don't remember his last name.
yeah. We
But
have
I
a lot of
remember him.
mics up here, so
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, we have a lot of mics. So it's good, man. So
Yeah,
so
good stuff.
listen, I have some questions for you because
Fire
so the
away.
first question in my brutally honest statement,
Go ahead, man.
neither one of us are beach body fitness models.
That is just an utter fact. That is not anywhere close to brutal. It's the truth.
What do we have to offer people on YouTube? What do
Just
you bring to the table?
honestly, just that, the truth. Um, One of the things that I like about, okay, so we'll go from one extreme to the other. One of the things
Yeah.
I like about the really ripped, really beefy, buff guys or ripped gals that are doing content. One of the things that I do like about them is something to kind of aspire to, if that's your thing. One of the big thing that I don't like about it is it seems very unachievable, and there's not a lot of people on that show the work that they put into getting the results that they have. It's usually, here's the results I have, and they blow up. One of the things I like to do most is just showing the work that I do, and that it's not, you know, if I work out this week, next week
Yeah.
I'm not going to be on the cover of Fitness Magazine,
Right.
you know, with 17-inch guns and big 40-inch thighs or whatever. You know, it's
Or maybe even this decade, right?
yeah,
Like,
maybe not even this decade.
yeah.
I mean, honestly, and I'm 51 now, so my expectations of where I want to be are quite a bit different than when I was in my 30s, or even when I was, well, I mean, when I was in my 20s, I wasn't even thinking about fitness or health or anything. But you know, I still have goals that I want to achieve fitness wise, and I still have plenty of time to achieve them. That's kind of one of the things I like to bring to the table, is that, you know, it doesn't matter that you're 40 or 50. You can still exercise, you can still get fit, you can still, you know, even if you don't get this
Amen.
unbelievable body, you can still be fit.
Yeah.
So
You and you can improve your quality of life by amazing amounts,
yes,
right?
yes,
Like
and
if you're judging yourself by your previous self,
hmm
the difference can be astounding.
oh
If you're
yeah,
comparing yourself to Muscle and Fitness magazine, you have another problem.
yeah, and health and fitness isn't going to fix that problem,
Exactly.
factually. I mean, one of the things that I just recently found this out watching another guy that I like to follow on YouTube. He's a physiology. He's got a doctorate in physiology or something like that,
Yeah.
biology.
Shout him out if you got his name. I mean, go ahead.
Bio Lane is
Oh,
his.
Bio Lane. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I watch him
yeah.
sometimes. Yeah.
One of the coolest thing I've seen of his recently is he was talking about these different studies that they had done, and when they accounted for fat loss in the benefits of exercise, like the health benefits of exercise, when they factored
Yeah.
out fat loss, so people who didn't lose a bunch of weight but were still exercising, the benefits were still there. They were a little bit
Yeah.
less, but the health benefits were still very much present, even without an accompanying fat loss, which is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm a believer. I believe you are 100% correct, and so is Lane.
yeah, for sure. Well, because there's not. I
This
mean,
this on the fat loss, I just have to squeeze this in because this is what pisses me off when I see it. You know,
hmm
speaking of inauthentic on the internet,
oh
okay?
boy.
I see guys like this. Okay, now I've lost 111 pounds.
Uh
Okay,
huh.
and I'm not picking on this person. I don't even know who this person is, but they'll put pictures like this and say, "Amazing 100-pound fat loss." Right?
Sure.
That's not what a 100-pound fat loss looks like. That's a
No.
guy pushing out his belly for one picture, and I every time I see a picture like that as a thumbnail, I immediately dismiss the whole channel.
Right.
I can't help it because it's not. I know I'm just not getting the straight dope,
Right.
right? So,
Yeah. There's
so
something
how
about
far
that.
along do you feel you are in your fitness journey right now?
Oh, like I'm just getting started.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
why not put it on YouTube, right?
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, and see, that's kind of one of the things. Like, um, I've been putting it on YouTube for a bit now, but I hit a barrier a little while ago, and I kind of fell off the train of training, and just been going through some life stuff and handling that, and so now I'm getting back into it,
Yeah,
and
listen, no, I
so
don't let you off the hook there. I want to know what happened to the Larry that was doing the Magic 50 on Ross forums all the time, and he'd take up every challenge someone posted. What got that Larry? I mean, you don't have to get too personal, but I want to
no,
know because I did the same. I was there with you, man,
yeah.
and I went off the rails too. But what did it for you?
Honestly, what got me off the trail the first time was kind of twofold. I went through a divorce, um,
Mm, that
and
sounds familiar.
let me rephrase that. I started I was like in my 30s when I went to college. So I went to college while working three
Right.
jobs, got student loans so that I could drop one of the jobs. Halfway through my first semester, no, sorry, halfway through my second semester, realized I was going through a divorce. Went through the divorce, kept going to college, then got a job, then lost those two jobs, and was kind of living on student loans and prayers. I think I don't know how I did it honestly, but at some point I got a job in my field, which was computers, and that was on midnights. And I just kind of got into, and I was still going to college. So I did my last 2 years at college and was working midnights the whole time. And then, so throughout that whole time, like I did sporadically work out, but it got sporadically less and less and less.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Once the routine's broken, and you're beyond the point where it's self-healing,
yeah.
it spins out, eh?
Yeah,
I got a
especially.
comment. I got a comment here. I'm going to throw on the screen. Let's
Sure.
see here. Kim's joined us. Kim, you are the
Hey,
first
Kim.
live comment on the new channels. So congratulations. Haven't worked out more than a year due to my knees. Had both replaced this past year. Getting back into working out now. Good. Slow and steady. Get the routine going again. Just did some stretches. Plan on stretching every day the first week, and riding a few nights a week just to get my body back into being mobile again. Hoping to lose 50 pounds or so at some point. That's great. So, absolutely possible, first of all. Absolutely possible.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and the knee replacement makes it tough, but the bike's a good choice, I think, from the sound of it. So
Yeah, low impact.
I know the gym I used to work at, Kim, there were these firefighters, and they would hurt their knees on the job. It seems a big thing for firefighters, but they would always come in at some point and they would get on the stair machine as the rehab. So maybe that's helpful to you. So hey, yeah, you're the first one. That's worth celebrating.
Yeah, for sure.
Hopefully not the last.
But if you are,
so
we got a great one.
yeah, there you go. So Larry, okay, how long were you off? How long were you off the sauce? And then what made you get back on?
It's I'll be honest with you, it's really hard to tell how long I was off because I was never off 100%. I would be off for, you know, 3 months, and then I'd get really amped up to do it again, and I'd do it for a week or two or a month or two, and then I'd fall
Right.
off for, like, oh, this has been a really hard week, so I'll start back next week, and next week would be, 2 months down the road or whatever. So the consistency was the biggest problem that I had, but what got me going into it again was we moved into a house with a garage, and I had a garage gym. Honestly, that's what got me excited to start exercising again, because it was really weird too, because it was a garage. There was we were the first house off of the corner of the street.
Yeah,
So
wait, Kim, get a garage.
There you go, get a garage. But so we weren't the house on the corner, but we were the first house down from that. And for whatever reason, centuries ago, that garage had been written into the contract or the deeds of both houses that it was split down the middle. So it was yeah. So it was a two-car garage with a wall down the middle.
Right.
So really, you could have put a car in there, but you'd have had a tough time getting out of it. So the only thing it was good for, as far as my wife was concerned, was for me to put my garage in there, my gym in there. So I did, and it was great. Oh, you have a home gym in your garage? I love that. That's awesome, Kim. That is, yeah.
Put it to work.
Yeah.
Well, I happen to know Kim's husband, so that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah.
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 Good
So
stuff.
yeah, and so then the other thing that gets me going is really keeping it mixed up. If I get stagnant on doing one type of exercise for too long, I get really bored, I guess.
So when you say type, I mean most of the videos I've seen of you is your weightlifting.
Yeah,
Do you mean switching up your weight routine, or do you switch into other modalities?
other modalities. Yeah, I was switching my weight routine around, but it wasn't cutting it for me, and that's why you saw some of the ones where I was hitting the tire and I was doing battle ropes. Is
Yep.
I got other things, kind of getting back to what the old raw cinnamide stuff,
Yeah.
and throwing that in there just because it mixes it up and it keeps me feeling. I don't know if it feels like I'm still having forward progress. When you
Yeah.
lift weights, lift weights for a bit, you get past the newbie gains, and then
Yep.
then it's slower. And I don't know if it's just the way I'm built that feels like torture to me to have to be that long.
Fair
Um,
enough.
but I like doing other things and just keeping things going. Plus, I do jujitsu now, and that requires like the conditioning level required for that is way higher than weightlifting. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Like back when I was 39, 40, and I was really into Muay Thai.
hmm
I always found that, because of course I train with a lot of MMA guys who did jujitsu, although I didn't do it.
right,
They would all say the same thing, that jujitsu is far more tiring than kickboxing, and kickboxing was tiring.
yeah. Oh, I
So
believe it.
yeah,
I did boxing a long time ago, and that was exhausting, but it wasn't nearly as exhausting as jujitsu for some reason. I think it's just something about like trying to push another human body around for 30, 40 minutes and they're, it's
and they're
what,
squeezing your chest, right? Like your chest is
right,
being squeezed, and you can't always get a clear breathing path, and you feel smothered by the
right,
nature of the sport, right?
right. It's
So
like it would be it's the only thing I can attribute it or make it akin to when it comes to weightlifting is it's like when you do a heavy squat and you're like, I could probably push out one more, and you go down, and you as soon as you get to the bottom of the squat, you
you're
think
like, oh shit,
maybe I can't.
yeah,
Yeah. The only difference is it's another person, and you can't drop them off your back like you can a weight. They're
right,
like, oh, cool, you can't go back up. Awesome.
yeah.
Which is rough, but it's really fun.
Yeah, and now that they've got you down and you can't get them off, they're actually going to make it even worse.
Yeah, exactly.
At least the squat bar is going to land on the safeties and you're done, right?
Exactly. Like if the squat bar, you just okay, just drop it. I'm okay then. But yeah, it's fun though.
So I think I have to agree though that as soon as consistency goes out the window, your health your fitness will start to decline.
Absolutely,
I mean,
absolutely.
you can have all the knowledge and you can go and do the hard workouts, but if you stop some consistency, you're sliding back. It's
Yeah.
inevitable.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's yeah, and not just physically. I mean, physically, yes, for sure, but also mentally and for me, emotionally too.
Yeah.
Like not exercising, not getting out and moving. I get really, yeah. And I work from home, so it's like, I mean, the pandemic was one thing. I didn't work from home until after the pandemic, and I was like,
Right.
this is the best, man. I get to work
Yeah.
from home. I can take my laptop downstairs and get a cup of coffee anytime I want. I don't have to say, hey, I'll be right back to get some coffee. This is great. But being in your home for that long it's not the best thing for your mental health if you don't go outside ever.
Yeah, I mean, I worked remote throughout the pandemic, but actually I was one of the first, I was the only person I knew working remote like 8, 9 years ago.
Oh
So
wow.
I'm kind of good with it. Um, there's a lot of advantages. I find the biggest disadvantages, depending on the nature of your job, like you said, some days you do miss the office and the water cooler talk.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Sometimes.
your garage gym though, it just reminded me of something that I like to stress, which I'm just going to plug my own content for a minute. But
Oh
my
yeah.
whole approach that I call the shift is based off sustainable habits. So you mindfully start a new habit and you're
hmm
reminding yourself to do it. But the habit should be so simple and so straightforward and effortless to start that you're able to do it even on a bad day, until it becomes routine, until it goes on autopilot. So
Right.
the you're implying with the garage gym is a good example was what they call the 2-minute rule. So when it only takes 2 minutes to get from where you are to the
Hmm.
gym, you're way more likely to go than if
Yeah.
it's 20 minutes.
Right.
Way more likely to go,
Oh yeah, for
right?
sure.
So for me, for the 2-minute rule, I bought a treadmill.
Oh, nice.
Because even if I'm like, I don't have time to go for the gym, treadmill's sitting right, like literally across the room. I don't
Right.
have, I can do something, and
Right. Right.
so the 2-minute rule. I would say, Kim, set up so that whatever intervention you're gonna do takes, it's like the stuff's out and ready for you. Your gym clothes are there.
And out.
They're already out of the drawer and laid out. All you got to do is put them on and hop on the bike. You're way more likely, even if you do them the night before. And I did this for
Hmm.
a long time. I was like, I just put out my clothes the night before, and then the morning come, I felt like crap, and I slept in, and they went on worn. But I kept making sure they were out, and then suddenly I said, well, you know what? Okay, I'm not going to force myself to go work out, but I have to put them on in the morning. So
That's a
I got
nice
up and I
gradient.
right, and I put them on, and suddenly I'm in the mood to work out because I had the gym clothes on.
Right.
So the
You got
workout,
that far.
the workout took no willpower. What actually took the willpower was getting the freaking clothes on. Once the clothes were on, I'm ready. Hey, I'm looking good in this shit. I want to go put it to work. You know what I mean? Like that
Right.
mood hits you. So
Nice.
that, I think, yeah, the fact you have a garage gym and then you're like going to put out some content on YouTube, it motivates you to go. It helps you. It puts that wind at your back. So
Yeah, and honestly, that's the reason why I started my channel in the first place was because it was like, well, if I'm putting stuff out, then I'm more apt to work out
yeah,
because now I'm not just holding myself accountable to me, which I am, but I'm
hmm
also like telling other people. It's like having a gym partner to an extent. You know, you have a gym partner and you don't feel like hitting the gym that day, and they're like, yeah, I don't care if you feel like it or not, bro. I already scheduled. You know, I
yeah,
changed my schedule for us to do Wednesday.
yeah.
So,
Now you're gonna let me down.
you know,
Yeah,
like if you're calling me because you have a tragedy and you have to take care of it, fine. But you're saying you don't feel like it. Oh well, I'll pick you up at 8. You know,
yeah.
so it's kind of that was kind of my reasoning for doing that. That's the
Have you
one
ever had
negative.
a gym partner work out? I've never had one work out.
Only in the Marine Corps.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never had a gym
Well,
partner
you're
when I
locked
work
in
out.
together, so
Yeah, exactly.
I've never had it where I've had so many people, and it's like, oh, it'd be so great to have someone to help me, like, give you the magic fingers on the bench press and all that. It's just never
Right.
worked out.
Yeah, I set my safety bars. Um, I don't know. I just set safety bars on my rack and just do
Yeah,
my workout.
yeah,
And then when I go for like, the one caveat to that is that when I go for like heavy singles for bench press, I always set it to where when I'm not fully flexed and it's
right.
hitting the safety bars. And I had someone comment once like you're not doing a full bench press, and I'm like, I'm not about to die to get an extra 10 pounds on my bench. No way. Like I'd rather have fail and have it hit the safety bars than
I set mine just above my neck because I'm a little heavier than you. So if I set
uh,
it for my chest, I definitely wouldn't get the range of motion I want.
okay, fair enough.
So I figure as long as I can't crush my windpipe,
Yeah, that's what.
I've actually failed where I had to like twist my head and wriggle out from underneath.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah. I've
like,
failed once where I had to set it down, and I had to roll it down to where it was at my stomach so that I could kind of, and I could feel the
see, I'd
bar
be
pulling
rolling
as
it
my fat.
uphill if I had to do that.
Oh no, it pushes fat down real easy. Trust me. It just
It's like
mushed it
some
all down.
1950s fat machine and just squeeze it out of you, right?
Yeah,
It's like rolling out a Pillsbury. Oh boy.
that's what it felt like. I'm telling you, man.
Oh god.
But that's my only biggest concern with heavy lifting is that because you know I, I got a wife and kids that are at the house, but that's not something I want them to walk out into, is having to call the EMT on me because I thought I could get 10 extra pounds.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean,
Yeah.
that's the difference between the 40-year-old Larry and the 50-year-old Larry.
Yes, that is very true.
Yeah,
That is
I'm the
very true.
same way. I mean, age is not just a number,
No,
but
it's
it's not
not.
the whole equation either. You got to factor it in,
Yeah,
right?
exactly, exactly.
I mean, I, I, I've hurt my shoulders once or twice. The
Hmm.
first time I hurt my shoulders, I was like 41, and then I hurt them again at 47, and the recovery time was vastly different.
Yeah,
So I'm really careful of my shoulders now at 53. Lord knows I might be done bench pressing for good if I hurt my shoulders again.
right.
I don't know,
And
right?
nobody
Like it's
wants that.
possible. And when I'm running, I don't. I like I do. I'm working up to half marathon now from a 10K, but I'm really mindful of my knees, and if I start getting knee
Hmm.
pain, the rest of the workout's walking.
Yeah,
It's not worth it. It just takes too long to recover, compared to when you could laugh it off.
yeah. I
I think,
remember when I didn't have knee pain, or if I did, it
yeah.
was I'll wake up tomorrow morning, I'll be fine. I remember that very well.
How
Just
would you
because of that.
compare the YouTube community? I mean, like we're not BioLanes and we're not
Mm-mm.
raw cinnamite. Like how would you find like how do you find the community treated you since you started putting out your videos? What do you find the atmosphere like?
Really well, actually. Really
Yeah,
well. Yeah, almost. I mean, I don't have BioLane following me,
yeah.
and I don't have it
Never
feels like,
know.
yeah, maybe, it feels like to
He might
me,
cover us to do one of his fact checks. What these guys get wrong.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, first of all, I never said that. What I said
Right.
was,
Yeah.
sorry, man. Going from memory, from 51-year-old memory, it's not a perfect thing. No, but actually, everybody I've talked with, everyone that follows me, and everyone that I follow are really cool people. I mean, there's there's one guy I follow that I don't watch a ton of his content just because he kind of, it seems like he purposely engages in that, like, there's one guy that he has beef with and they have beef with each other all the time. It's I, but nobody's ever said anything to me
Yeah.
negative.
I,
Actually, that's
I,
not true. That's not true. I take
I
that back. One
okay.
person said
Let's
something
hear it.
negative about my flag that's behind my rack.
Right.
They said that it was a degraded flag and I needed to get rid of it and buy a new one. I'm like, why don't you read it? It has the Second Amendment written in the lines. It's on purpose, you moron. And I just
I,
laughed. I said, okay, thanks. Appreciate
I
your
see you've
comment.
met the internet.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I have found the YouTube um, community way more positive than anywhere else. Like
Yeah.
I mean, when you're not a fitness model,
Yeah. And they're
for
really
some
like,
reason my comment won't go off the screen. But when you're
there it
not a
goes.
fitness model, you put yourself out there. There's a certain feeling, a certain vulnerability, let's say,
Yeah, for sure.
and the people of YouTube have been amazing. I think they understand it
I think so too.
and they appreciate that you're actually putting yourself out there.
Yeah, and I've even had a couple of, like, one particular guy whose channel is, God, I really want to shout him out. Uh, Gen X Fitness, I think,
Okay,
something along those lines. Basically, he's in our generation, so he's an older guy, and the guy is
right.
he's a beast. I mean, he is damn near a fitness model, and he's big and he's ripped and he does martial arts and he's, I don't know, whatever. He's a really, really healthy guy. You can
Big
tell.
beard? Has he got a big beard?
No, no. But the cool thing is like, saw him pop up on my feed one day, and I was like, oh, let me go check this guy out. And I checked out his video and liked his content, made a comment on it, And within a couple of days, he had come and commented on a few of my videos, like, "Hey, that you're doing really good. You like really dig this part or that part," and just a super nice guy,
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh wow, thanks, appreciate it." And he followed me, and I was like, "Dope, I got a new
Yeah,
subscriber."
I think when they see you like that, you're actually putting in the effort to put out content.
Hmm.
I feel like they almost want to be a mentor.
Yeah, agreed, 100%.
There's one guy I started following recently, and it's kind of interesting because I have a heart condition, right?
Yes, yeah.
So there's a fellow I've been following, um, and let's see here. Let me get the channel name. Get Fit Over 40. So
Okay,
he's been YouTubing like over 10 years, so now he could be Get Fit Over 50, I'm sure.
right.
He's in the hospital right now, live streaming nightly from his hospital bed because his heart valve
Oh wow.
just had to have it replaced. So it's interesting to me, this guy who's like, he is the buff fitness model throughout the entire life of his channel. And now he's facing the same thing I faced as a 345-pound overweight,
Wow.
competing powerlifter, and just seeing someone else like, so I'm invested because I watched a few of his videos, and now I'm
Hmm.
like, I want to see this guy recover now.
Yeah, yeah,
Invested,
for sure.
right? Because I thought his videos made a lot of common sense. So yeah, so shout out to Get Fit Over 40 and Gen X Fitness. Maybe if you find the link after, I'll add it to the show notes. Okay.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. So okay, the elephant in the room. Anytime guys over 40 start talking about working out,
But
have,
what's
have
that?
you have you ever been tempted by TRT?
No, no,
Yeah.
absolutely not. Okay, hold on. Let me rephrase that. I had a doctor check to make sure I didn't have low testosterone.
Fair enough.
That's as far as I ever looked at it. And I'll be honest with you, I came up at a time where I was raised in a family that had, my mom has 6 kids on her side of the family, including herself.
Right.
Okay, 2 of them were heroin addicts as long as I can remember. One of them died that way. The other one recovered and became a drug counselor, helped a lot of people. But they were both heroin addicts for 30 plus years. So it wasn't that anyone told me be afraid of drugs, but outside of marijuana, I've always been like very, very concerned about any kind of like putting stuff into my body that shouldn't go there unless the doctor said like you absolutely have to have this.
Right.
So I just it's a weird quirk that I have just because I love both my uncles very much and I saw what happened to them, and
Yeah.
so like even I had one of my tonsils was infected one day, and I went to the urgent care, which is like we'll see you if it's necessary, but you don't have to go to emergency. So I went to urgent care, and the lady gave me some antibiotics, and she said get over to the emergency room. And I was like, well, you gave me antibiotics, I should be fine. She goes, you're about 45 minutes away from your throat closing completely. Go to emergency room. I
Wow.
go, oh, okay, gotcha. So it was just infected, but I went in there, and the doctor had to go in with a long needle and take some infection out so that it would give it time for the antibiotics to take hold and get the
Lovely.
swelling down, right? So he did all that, and it hurt, but whatever. We get done, and he's like, here's, prescription for antibiotics, and here's a prescription for oxycodone, for the pain. And I was like, oxycodone? Like you took some infection out. I was like, no, that's okay. He goes, well, here's the prescription. You don't have to fill it if you don't want to,
Right.
but if it hurts really bad,
It's amazing how
here's the
easily they
prescription.
hand. Amazing how it's funny you mentioned Oxy because I was actually addicted to Oxy,
Oh shit.
and I was prescribed it the same way without any warning about what it was,
Right.
and I ended up on oxycodone and Percocet addicted, and I had to get off it, and I went off it through tapering,
Through
and I
what?
would just tapering, so I would just chop up the
Okay.
pills smaller and smaller and smaller. That's why I thought shortcuts, and that's what it felt like.
Wow.
And it stuck with me so bad that the first time I went in the hospital, I thought I was having a heart attack when I gave the first one off.
Hmm.
They were gonna shock my chest, and he brought out 2 needles. They were gonna put you to sleep to shock your chest so you don't feel it. And I'm like, okay, he brought out 2 needles. They said, why do you need 2 needles? He said, well, the first one's a painkiller because it's still gonna hurt when you wake up, and the second one, it knocks you out for literally a minute, and then you're wide awake again. What's a painkiller? Is it an opiate? He said, yeah. I said, well, I was addicted to opiates, so I want you to go in my file, put in there that you never ever offer me that again, and just I will have the pain first.
Right.
And the funny part is, actually, when they put me under, the first 2 shocks didn't work, so we thought it's because they didn't line it up right. So they were repositioning it, and they took too long, so I actually woke up when they delivered the 3rd shock, so I felt it.
Oh, ouch.
And I was kind of like, maybe I should have got that.
Maybe I should have taken it that one.
I actually said, did you just punch me? Like, I actually asked him that because I was like I was ready to hit him back. Hey, there's Sed. Hey, welcome aboard, Sed. Sed is a trucker. He actually drives around with a folding exercise bike in his truck. The man's a dedicated.
Badass. That is badass.
Man.
Oh yeah.
I have a live stream with him on my AFib channel.
I will go check it out.
Sed, man, how's it going, bro? Sed's an inspiring guy. Sed inspires me, so we still change text every few days. Good man. So, okay, enough talking about me. I want to get back to you.
Fair enough.
So you're on YouTube. How long have you been on YouTube?
This May, I think, will be 2 years on the Greybeard Fit channel. I have like my own personal YouTube where I put a YouTube video up when I was doing Ross Enamite stuff back years and years ago, but I've never done anything with it. One video, I think, is all. But I think this May will be 2 years.
Good. And so, do you have a long-term goal for your channel, or is it just something fun? You throw the videos up, and if they catch on, they catch on.
Right now it's something fun. I'm looking to do something more with it, but that's kind of like on the back burner, kind of simmering.
Maybe you'll start live streaming.
Maybe. Oh, that's something else I'll have to figure out first.
I think you should live stream from your garage. It'd be rad.
Actually, that would be kind of fun.
Would be cool.
I'll have to look up the stuff on how to do that.
I'll go in my garage and be your guest, but I don't have a gym out there.
That's fine. You can go on your treadmill.
I'll go to my gym. I'm the only one there at 5 a.m. You know, a gym full of powerlifting champions. Think it'd be full at 5 a.m.? Nope, I'm the only one.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's great. We have a key, right? We all have a key, so it's great. Let's go in.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That is nice.
Good stuff.
That is nice.
Okay,
yeah.
so are you through your fitness hoping to address anything like health challenges, or are you just training? Like, why is it now important in your life again?
Well, I have a granddaughter,
Oh,
and she's now gonna be 3 in April, and that is a lot of energy. And
yeah.
so, I mean, it's partly because I want to be around, but I don't want to be around just there. I want to be active, and
Right.
and I know that there's no way that's going to happen if I sit around and eat ice cream all day. Unfortunately, because ice cream is delicious, but
Yes.
so that's part of it. Part of it is I actually have a couple of goals with lifting, just getting to certain weight amounts of lifts, and they're pretty modest. I want to be able to bench 250. I want to be able to squat 500. I want to be able to deadlift. Well, no, I'm sorry, squat 400. I want to be able to deadlift 5, and I want to hit 200 plus overhead press. And those are just general goals that I kind of stuck in.
Out of all of them, I will tell you that will be the hardest.
The overhead press?
The 200-pound overhead press.
Oh, for sure.
That will be the hardest.
Yeah, and I'm aware of that. These are my 5-year goals, by the way.
Oh,
Or I shouldn't say 5 years. These are my goals that I want to hit by the time I'm 55. So I got 4 years left. And then, just certain fitness goals, just to kind of keep myself tantalized and wanting to do the fitness because I get, like I said, I get bored sometimes, but mostly it's I'm just trying to stay healthy.
I think one commonality on anyone who's like really consistently training,
Hmm.
at least for men, I don't think it's quite the same for ladies, although there are ladies motivated the same way.
Right.
But you're always in competition with yourself.
Yeah.
Like you're
Yeah.
always, I mean, when men train, we don't look in the mirror for vanity. We're like, I'm gonna fucking crush you. Like we're
Oh, for sure.
that's why
Definitely.
we're looking in the mirror, right? Like, oh, are these arms bigger than yesterday? They
Yeah.
better be.
Well, and that's
No,
why
okay, 10 more
that's,
reps.
yeah, I mean, that's why we track the weights too, you know, like
Yeah,
there's been times like I track, you know, here's the weight I'm going to lift. And right now I'm following,
531. I thought was it 531
yes,
you're doing?
thank you, 531. I was trying to remember the guy's name, Jim
Wendler.
Windler. Yeah. Um, so there's, you know, it's like you get to a max weight and there's how many reps you're going to do. And the last one is this many reps plus however many more you can accomplish right before
Right.
failure. And there's been times where, you know, like so I do, okay, I'm supposed to do 5+, so I'll do like 10. And I mark that down. And then next time I come back around to where I'm doing the 5+, you know, it'll be just a hell of a day. And I'll barely eke out like 7. And I'm like, man, that was awesome. And I go look at last week, I'm like, shit, that sucked. What
That's
happened?
that's pretty good, man. Because like when I hear that, like I've never done 531. I'm just aware of it.
Okay.
But when they build that into a program, they call that auto regulation. So a program will auto regulate based on how exhausted you are at a certain time.
Okay.
So that's considered pretty intelligent design. So I think you're onto a good program there.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
worked. I like it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, to me, I don't actually work off a strict program, but I'll always try to auto regulate the same way. So if I'm more tired, it's more about, well, do what makes sense for that day rather than what's on a piece of paper or what I had in my head. Because quite often you feel great going in the gym, you start working out, realize your muscles are more tired than you thought, or you're weaker
Mm-hmm.
that day, or a lot of times your central nervous system is depressed from all the heavy workouts you've been doing, and it's just
Right.
not giving you the strength that you're used to having. So you always want to be, especially like you're working on deadlift, squat, bench press, overhead press. All four of those things hit your nervous system hard, and the
I know.
exhaustion starts to build up.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It
Especially at
does.
50. Hate
Yeah,
to say it.
especially at 50. I know. I know. I hate that, but because here, I mean, aside from, you know, occasional memory for forgetfulness, but here I feel like I'm 20 or 30, you know, and then I wake up from sleep in the morning and I remember that I'm 50.
So with
It's
those goals, you must be scouring like Facebook Marketplace for people selling their weights.
no, I just I got a really good deal on an Olympic bar.
Yeah,
I'm still gonna do I do some videos just about the equipment that I have because I'm trying to find cheap alternatives. But the one that I have was only 139 bucks. And then I started doing research and I went, oh, I got to go back to Amazon and, you know, get the specs on this thing so I can add it to the video because this is a really good deal. And they have it up to 240 now. And I was like, you son of
post-pandemic pricing.
you bet. Well, I got it after the pandemic, but it was just
Oh, did you?
yeah, it was just a steal. And then I got some Olympic weights, and you know, what I did was I bought the Olympic weights and then sold my old standard steel plates to offset the cost of that. It
Right.
was kind of like that was the deal I worked out with the financial with the banker in the house, which isn't
Yeah.
me.
The CFO.
Yeah, the CFO said that it would be
CFO.
fine if I sold this stuff to get that stuff.
Yeah,
But
I hear you. Yeah.
my whole entire gym I've built up over, I mean, years and years. Like almost all of my weights that I have before the bar rack and the Olympic weights.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What was your
those
biggest waste of money?
my biggest waste of money.
Yeah.
Um, probably I can't even remember the name of it. It's the curl bar that's got the waves
Oh,
in
the
it.
easy curl.
Easy curl.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like using it. I just don't use it often enough to justify the price that I mean, the expense. It wasn't that expensive, but it was it was a program that I was following. The guy was using that, and instead of going, I could probably just use a straight bar for that. I went, no, I need that piece of equipment.
Right.
And then I was like, well, there it sits on the wall, looking very, very lonely.
I would say I probably about half the shit I bought I didn't use nearly as much as I thought I would, which is for me, which is why I pretty much just stick with gym memberships. Just learned
Yeah,
that about myself. Just learned it about myself. So.
yeah. I've had to talk myself down from things quite a few times, and I have to do it regularly because if I see some new gadget, I'm like, that looks pretty awesome. I bet you that would help me get, achieve whatever. I mean, that's the marketing's there for. So I just know that about myself now and just don't spend any extra money on it. I just go, I don't need anything. I've got everything that I need right now. And if I feel compelled, like if I feel like I have to have that, then I just do burpees until I get sick to my stomach and then I don't want to do it anymore.
I have a friend I used to box with, and he was 50 something in an amazing shape. So I was 40. So maybe I see if I get him on the show one day. He said to me the best line I've ever heard. He said, we were in the Good Life Fitness together, and he said, "Do you see all these machines standing here?" And I said, "Yeah." He says, "Every single one of them was invented to avoid doing burpees."
That's probably true. There's got to be some truth to that because burpees are hell,
They're
man.
the worst. I
Yeah.
just
And the cool,
actually I haven't done a burpee in probably 8 years, and I'm reconsidering now that my cardio is more developed,
to do
making
them.
the attempt at 10 burpees and seeing how it
Well,
goes.
the thing I do like about burpees is that you can absolutely control them with your speed and
The
make them,
intensity.
yeah, you can control the intensity and make them a decent cardio without being, overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like you don't have, like, there's a bunch of people that I follow, that we follow back and forth. And some of them, all they do is like burpees. There's like
Yeah.
3 or 4 of them. All they do is burpees. And one day I saw this guy doing burpees and he wasn't doing the push up. He was like just doing, just knocking out, a few hundred and with zero, what was it called? Zero pump? Yeah, zero pump. Because and then the next week he was doing like 100 burpees, but with 2 push-ups
Right.
in each one and a jump at the end.
So he's sort of doing his you know, more specific movement. He's following a training template, but just with the burpee rather than.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
brilliant.
yeah. And
That's brilliant.
he does do a little bit of weightlifting. Like he'll do some
Right.
overhead presses and he does pull-ups. But almost every time I see his videos, it's him doing burpees, and some of them are like, I mean, goes down, does the push-up, comes back up, and does like 2 mountain climbers,
Right.
and then pops up and jumps up as high as he can. And sometimes he's just, goes down and doesn't even do a push up, doesn't jump at the end, just stands back up, goes back down, and does it kind of slow. And it's like um, going for a walk. And then other times it's like going for a sprint, and he does all these ones everywhere in between. And that's the first time like I saw someone do that. I went, oh, I can slow burpees down. I thought you had to do a push up and jump at the end, and otherwise it wasn't, like, wait a second. And so I started integrating them back into my training because I was like, those I can do. And I also wanted to start building up my conditioning for my jujitsu.
I just want to flag Sed's comment here about the resistance bands, because the
Yeah.
resistance bands are low cost, they're highly portable, and you can find them like dirt cheap used. Like
Yeah.
just dirt cheap. Do you
Yeah, for
remember?
sure.
Do you remember on the back to Ross Enamite and the best forums that ever existed on the internet? But remember when, like, the Magic 50 was the brutal workout, and the Magic 50 was basically 10 reps each arm of these various full body dumbbell moves, followed followed by 10 burpees. That was one round, and you did 5 rounds straight
Yes.
as the magic 50, right? And then
Right.
we had this annual day where everyone would do the magic 100.
Yes.
Remember that?
Yes.
And then some asshole went and came up with the magic 200.
Yes.
And everyone's like, I'm done.
Okay. Have fun, bud.
I think I got to 70. I don't think I ever got to 100.
I don't remember what I got to. I remember one. I can't remember what it was we did, but I remember there was one year I did it, and it was, I think I spent probably, like, we literally scheduled a Sunday that we were going to do it, and neither one of us had anything else we were going to do that day, because it was like, I think we did like 3 of the conditioning out of Ross's book.
Yeah.
And we were we would take breaks in between. So
Infinite intensity.
Yeah, infinite intensity. And we did like Magic 50, or maybe we started with Magic 100, and then we took like a break for half an hour or 40 minutes, and then we did another one of those conditioning kind of things, and then another one.
Yeah.
And I was trashed for a week after that. Like
I was giving the martial artists I was training with drills out of Ross's book, and they all thought I was freaking genius. They all thought I was the best coach that ever lived, and I was just literally just taking Ross's Infinite Intensity, and this is the best book ever written, as far as I'm concerned. And it was even wire ring bound, so you could lay it flat. Like,
yes.
The perfect book, right? So, yeah, I mean, that's the one thing when you talked about jiu-jitsu, I find exactly. Yeah, I've got mine here too.
That one.
Ross says, hold it up again. Hold it right up to the camera to give everyone a really good view of that. Don't buy any fitness book unless you already own this one.
Yes.
Infinite Intensity. If you don't already own this one, don't buy any other exercise.
By Ross and I might.
Because this is... You'd be shocked how effective the program's in. If you just want to get all around fit in a hurry, strong, more enduring, flexible, powerful.
That is the book.
Just highly functional for life. That's the best book ever.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So.
And here's something else that's cool
I think
guy.
you and I.
Mm-hmm.
I think you and I should make an agreement to come back in a year, and each have filmed ourselves doing the Magic 50 and put them in a video side by side.
Okay. Let's do it.
Deal, man. Okay, fist bump.
Deal.
We're doing it. Fist bump.
Boom.
Yeah, okay. Hey, man.
Okay.
You know it's not going to take either one of us a year. We'll both be doing that shit in about a week.
Hold on a second. Now,
and dying.
We have to do
We should do
push-up.
it. You know what? We should do it this week. Film it. And then a year of training, film it again, and see the difference. That's what I think.
Okay. I'm down.
Okay, let's do it. Okay, this week we'll film ourselves and we'll trade videos. None of y'all going to see it probably, but we'll show it later.
Yeah, in a year.
Project Man said we're going to get you in on it. I'm going to send you a video how to do the Magic 50. We'll get Cedric in on it. I think he'd like that. You can do it right in your truck, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good stuff, man. Larry, I'd like to give you the closing words. So, just to someone, I mean, like me and yourself, you're an older gentleman and you're getting back into fitness, and you've been down that road before. You've lost your way, but now you're getting back into it, and the world has changed. Everyone's sharing their stuff on social media. Everyone's, trying to be online a little bit, and for us, like, I think both of us, it's like to reinforce our own path that we're on. We're doing it to reinforce ourselves, and if we can inspire a few people, great. What advice would you give to anyone who's thinking, Jesus, do I really want to throw this on camera?
Do it. The worst thing that's going to happen is no one's going to watch your videos except for your family. And the
Yeah.
community, I mean, honestly, the community of people that I've seen on YouTube, they're awesome. They're really helpful. About the only time that they get nasty is if somebody's mocking somebody who's working hard. That's the only time I've ever seen anyone get like mean about it. They're, you know, and if it helps you stay consistent, then do it. If it won't help you stay consistent, if it makes you so nervous that you just can't even function, then don't do it.
Yeah. So I think that's great, and I want to get Cedric back, but I want to get him on this channel. He's been on my AFib channel twice. I want to get him on this channel because I want to talk
Right.
about working out on the road, and I would love to get the three of us together at some point. So maybe
That'd
we'll
be
all
cool.
work. Maybe we'll all work on the Magic 50. Said, would you be up for trying the Magic 50, bro? It'll put you on your ass. Let us know. You'll feel like you've joined a whole new club. I would. You'll feel like you're in a new club after you complete a Magic 50.
Yes.
Really.
Yeah, especially if you yeah, just yes. When I
Larry,
started
how? Oh, go ahead. Finish
when
your
I
thought. Sorry.
when I started back so when I started back with conditioning, the first thing I started with was the Magic 50. It was the first thing that I did.
Just
And
grab the biggest tool in the drawer.
yeah, why not? You know. But the thing that I did was I mean, I'm older, so hopefully there's something that comes with that, and I was a little wiser. So I used to do it with I think I had I had a 30-pound dumbbell, and that's like a 30-pound steel dumbbell. That's what I
That's
used to
actually
use.
hard for a Magic 50. That's
Oh,
more
it's
weight
really
than I
hard.
would use.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I got to. I'm talking like
Right.
a long time ago. That's what I got to.
Okay.
So going back into it, I'm like, okay, well, how can I make this easier so that I don't die? And I was like, okay, first of all, you're gonna grab a 10-pounder, and you're gonna
Right.
start with that, and then you're gonna do the push-up, but you're not gonna drop down to the floor. You know, I'm gonna squat down, put my hands down, go, kick my feet back, do a push-up, come up, stand up, no jump. Dude, I was still dead after that. I was still dying.
Sed's down, man. Sounds like we've got three. Looks. Hey, we're gonna revive
Oh,
the Magic
fantastic.
50. We're gonna
Oh my
we're gonna
God.
make the Magic 50 great again.
Seth, how old are you? How old's Seth?
He's a
Because,
few years younger than us,
oh,
or at least he looks
okay.
it.
That's totally fine.
Yeah.
But it would be
We will
interesting
let
if
him have the youth advantage.
that, yeah. I was just going to make a joke about the Magic 50 being, multifaceted in what it means because we're both over 50
Right.
as well.
The
Yeah,
truth about the Magic 50 is there's no magic, just a lot of pain.
yeah, a lot of pain, a lot of work, a
Yeah.
lot of when you're done.
I
That's
would
always
say
fun.
if you're going to do the Magic 50, the tip I would give,
Hmm.
because your approach to me is a great approach. But the way I started working up is I just did the full movements, but I would take extra few seconds of rest. I needed it. So
Okay,
I was
that's
more of a
good way to do it.
completionist. I just had to do the full thing.
Okay,
Yeah, so there's nothing wrong with taking a rest every third burpee.
right.
5 seconds, just that 5 seconds, sort of making like a Tabata out of it, where you do like
Yeah.
20 seconds go and stop for 10 seconds and then continue for 20 seconds until you complete the whole round and then take 2 minutes rest. I mean, that's another way to go. Like, there's lots of ways to suffer.
Oh yeah, there's a ton of ways to suffer, but that's a really good way to do it too. Is taking a
That
rest
says
every
42. Okay, so said you
Oh,
have to do the magic 42. We'll give you the youth advantage.
honestly, to date, that's one of the most brutal ones I've ever done, and yeah.
If you ain't dying with a 5-pound dumbbell, you ain't did it right. You're just not.
No, you're just not moving fast enough. That's all.
It's one of those. It's like hill sprints.
Yeah.
You can never get better than the hill, ever.
No, no.
Right? If you get faster, well, then you're just running uphill faster, and it's tiring you up faster, right? Like
Yeah, exactly.
the Magic 50 is like that. If you're super fit, you're just gonna do it faster and harder, and be just as screwed up at the end.
Yeah. Well,
You
and
can
that's
never outgrow it.
one of the things I love about the Magic 50 or any of those types of interval training is that that is the key to it. Is it's like you just said, it's just like doing hill sprints, you know, like, okay, so you sprint hills and you're exhausted. And then after a little while, if you're sprinting hills at the same speed you started at, sure,
Yep.
you're not going to be as exhausted, but you're not sprinting hills at the
You
same
can
speed.
find a bigger hill.
Yeah. Or you're going, I can go faster,
Well, I think every
you know?
workout in that book, and I think that's why he titled it Infinite Intensity, because you can never outgrow it. But every
No,
workout in that book is like that. Doesn't
absolutely.
matter how fit you go, it's still going to kick your ass if you're applying yourself. Every single workout in that book, like the deck of cards. Oh my
Oh
god!
God.
Like yeah, I mean the deck of cards. There's a day your life gone.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, there's a whole yeah, and there's a
So
ton of other ones in
I'm
it too.
gonna take us out. We're just over the hour mark,
All
and
right.
I feel like that's the sweet spot for the live stream. So what I'd like you to do is just tell us all how we can follow Greybeard Fit.
Uh, YouTube at Greybeard Fit. Also Twitter at Greybeard Fit. I do have an Instagram. Twitter and Instagram I'm not on very often. I don't post things on there very often, but YouTube's the best way to follow me.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Yeah. So it
good
says
fun.
send over any links you wanted added to the video description. I'll put them in for you, bro.
Sounds good.
And I think this has just been a great first live stream on this channel. I thought I had a great time.
Yeah,
I
me
hope
too.
I can have you back more than once.
Definitely.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, let's get that. Let's get those Magic 50 videos done this week, and then we
yeah.
can
Said
hold
you
on
can
to them
come on
for
the
you.
channel as soon as you do your first Magic 50.
Oh, there's a bar to entry now. Oh crap.
Oh no, that would be mean. No. But I think you and Said would get along good too. So I would I'm looking for live stream ideas. I mean, obviously, I mean my goal is to help. My main channel is about atrial fibrillation, which is my
Right.
heart disease, and so on doing that, everyone's saying, "Geez, I wish I had found you 5 years ago." And I'm like, "Well, why don't I go out to people who don't have AFib yet
Yeah,
and
smart.
throw some content out for them, right?" So that's
Yeah.
how this channel came to be. Everyone's tell us how you lost weight and all that. So I'm putting it out there, and I'm
Yeah.
like you. I'm still actually I feel like I still have 45 or 50 pounds I could lose. So
Gotcha.
but I've lost 112 pounds now, and it's actually very difficult. Every pound now takes 3-4 times the work that it used to take. So I almost feel like I
Wow.
need the added momentum. You
Right.
know, I need just to keep me in frame. I need that little extra at this point, and at this point outside of my AFib, which is almost non-existent now. I'm ridiculously healthy, even at the weight I am. Like I'm strong as
Cool.
a bull. I'm running 10Ks. I feel like I'm the best health of my life. But
Nice.
I mean, so anyone who's watching, I mean, if you're 40 today, where do you want to be at 50?
Exactly.
Right? Imagine if I had a 10-year head start. I would be doing marathons right now, probably ultras or winning my powerlifting trophies again. Like
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
consistency.
Yeah. And yeah, and that is the key is consistency. Consistency. Anytime I've fell off for any period of time, I always get going again, and I look back at one point and I go, man, if I'd have just stuck to it. And I go,
Yeah.
okay, well, that was the past. You can't do anything about that. Let's just stick to it this time.
Okay.
So,
Larry, I'm going to play us out with 30 seconds of the channel trailer, so hang in there. We'll just wrap up together in private
all right, sounds
once I
good.
go off the air, so I'd like to put a little music on the way out. Everyone, Kim said, everyone who tuned in, thank
Great
you
to
all
meet
for
you all.
watching. Yeah, and we'll get everyone on. He said definitely get you on here with Larry at some point, and I'll send you a Magic 50 video, bro. You're going to hate me. Okay,
In a
Larry.
good way.
Thanks, man. Thanks, brother.
Thank you, Dan. Have a good one, brother.
I'm changing who I am. I'm making a new plan, rearranging my life, and I won't look back ever again.
Yeah. You ain't see me activated. You better hope that you never see me agitated. I think about my actions, plan them out, evaluated. That's how I end up on the top, man, I'm calculated. My mind's a weapon, my body is the